When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to Bodywork Boxing. What's going on? It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. And real quick, before I get into it, do me a favor. If you rock with my channel, go to your notification. Make sure that you click on get all the notifications. It's one thing when you speaking the truth and you talking that talk that don't line up with what a lot of people are talking about, but it's that real deal Holyfield. They don't really promote you. So like that old cliche, it helps out with the algorithms. Anyways, man, so are you curious, George? Speaking of Mr. George Kambosos, I'm not even going to be disrespectful and call him Kambosos. You know, by chance, if you happen to see this. So, you're going to get on Twitter and you're going to do a poll about who you should fight next? Okay, Einstein. You can go fight Tank. You could probably get the highest payday you'll ever get, but then you get your ass flatlined. That's option one, which I don't think you really want to do it. Even though if you go back and listen to right after the Lopez win, if you go back and you listen to DeBella, man, I don't know how many times he said Tank name. That's what they were vying for. But I reason that what's going on right now is when Tank said, yeah, I'll fuck him up, but he can keep those belts. I think that kind of did something to the whole aspect of fighting Tank. And the other thing was, if y'all recall, here recently, they basically mandated that, hey, either Tank, you keep the belt at 140, you go see Kamboses at 135, or you keep the secondary belt at 135 and you go see Josh Taylor at 140. Right after that, Tank let the belt go at 140. So, without saying anything, that said a lot. So I'm thinking that Kambosos thinks that because Tank let that belt go at 140, and it kind of put Tank into the trajectory of fighting at 135, that he's playing with all the leverage. This is very interesting because you really don't have a platform, buddy. And I know that Bob Arum, he always wanted his golden boy, and I could have done it previously, but out of appreciation for my listeners, I didn't want to put them through that. But if you go back, or if you've been following for a short period of time, I can do it previously on Bodywork Boxing, where I said that Bob Arum always wanted always wanted Loma to actually get his belts back. And what he did was, somehow, I even alluded to this, I said, man, Bob must got some old mafia ties, because even after all that stuff, when T.O. had all the leverage, he went back and signed with Bob. Why, I don't know. And I'm going to do a video about T.O., man, message to T.O., because I'm still checking for you, man. I'm still a fan, T.O. Fuck what they all say, man. I'm still riding with you, man. You just got to get back in the lab and get back to the drawing board, and you know what I'm saying, you'll be back, you know what I'm saying. But I think this was a learning lesson, a much needed learning lesson, you know what I'm saying, and you're going to do what you need to do. Not worried about that. But somehow, T.O. re-signed with Bob. When he re-signed with Bob, it was supposed to be 3 fights. It was supposed to be a TV deal and then 2 pay-per-views, right? So that's 3 fights. T.O. messed up when he lost to Kambosos, right? But Bob still has those slots with ESPN. And now with Loma and the whole his stock went back up after fighting Nakatani and then doing what he did to Comey. You know what I'm saying? Even though he didn't knock him out, somehow his stock rose, which left Kambosos in need of a platform. So he think he can play hardball with Tank, which I did my last video on Kambosos. When I said, who was he talking to? Like he was the money man or something when it came to Tank. But the move by Tank, that was one thing. The move by Lopez and him saying he didn't want a rematch, that was another thing. But Kambosos still don't have a platform. He have a whole country. He have an audience. Somebody has to travel. Devin said he was willing to travel. Devin has the last link to the belts. You need to fight Devin. So were you polling or were you trolling? We know you trolling. And you looking like a brand new fool, man. You had all the attention. You got all the attention you need. You had all the eyes on you. But I don't really think you have as much power as you think you do. Because Tank don't really give a fuck about belts. I'm going to do a video about Tank and what his next couple moves should be as well. But you don't really have the leverage with Tank because you subject to getting whatever they're going to pay for. And I don't think the interest of paying all them sanctioning fees for all them belts and with the way Suleiman is doing, you think they really going to let Tank, you think they would really allow Suleiman to mock Tank about the Pride Championship and how he playing with all these sanctioning fees or whatever? I believe that when Tank, if Tank were to fight you, it's going to be for all the marbles. Or for the belts, it's going to be for all the marbles, and you're not going to be able to mock him the way they're doing Devin. We all know who you should fight. Stop being a prima donna. Learn from your previous opponent's mistakes in Teo and how he acted when he got that belt, and stop playing games. Stop being a curious George. You out here polling the fans, asking them, who should I fight next? Who? It's not a mystery, genius. You was real respectable for the whole time I was pulling up slack for you. You can go back and look up my videos when everybody was shitting on you saying, who is Kamboses? I'm like, oh, he beat Mickey Bay. He beat Mickey Bay. Like, he just ain't nobody to shake a stick at. You know what I'm saying? I had Teo knocking your ass out. And I was wrong because he had the wrong game plan. But at the same time, don't get it. I was pulling for you. I was actually giving you some credibility in the whole build-up throughout the fight, putting some respect on your name. But now, you're starting to look like a fucking clown. You need to fight Devin and stop trolling. It ain't no mystery in who you should fight next. And it shouldn't be Loma. But I know you're pretty much either going to do a rematch with Teo, because Bob is probably going to make him, or you're going to fight Loma because Bob wanted them belts back in-house. He's probably not going to pay you, but you're at the mercy of needing a platform. You're not going to be able to get away with that shit with Tank. You're not. Because you're not the cash cow, and you have belts that these belts are being made a mockery out of right now. So let's stop playing games and fight Devin. And let's put all this to bed. Because right now, your little 15 minutes of fame, it's not looking good. You could actually go for 60 minutes if you make the right move. And you stop playing these games and you get focused. Because you could actually have the upper hand and starting to train and starting to focus on who it is you're going to fight. But you're playing around. And I understand it. You know what I'm saying? You deserve your little highlight, your little time. But stop being curious, George. You already know who you fighting. Either a rematch with Teo or a fight with Loma. Body work.
All right. I believe you. But my tummy don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
I do what I do, and he knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fuck solid up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans and all that.
Today, y'all outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the clock, so